Hi, everyone. Welcome to the My Baby Expert Show. We are live. It is Wednesday night. I am so excited to be with all of you again. We're going to give it a moment, let everybody jump in because we have a really great show for you tonight. I'm super excited, and I know you are too, because we had so many questions come up and so much interest in this topic. And so I know it's going to be a great night. Here we go. Let me just pull up my screen and make sure that we are good to go. And we are good. Okay. So you guys, hello. It is the My Baby Expert Show. I'm Sherry Creso. I'm your host, and just waiting for everybody to jump in. Hi, everyone. Oh, there they come. Hi. Yes. This is episode 113 of our show, and it has been going on for many years, and I'm so excited that we are actually we have a special guest tonight who's been here before, and it was a long time ago, several years ago, and I'm so happy to have her back with us, and that is Tammy Gold, and she's sitting right here next to me, as you can see. And first of all, I just want to say welcome, Tammy. Thanks for being back on the show. It's been a while, but I'm really glad to have you here with me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. Your show is great, and your fans are always so terrific and supportive, and I'm so happy to be back.
Oh, we are too. We are too. And there's so many people jumping in. They're all saying hello. And let's all say hi to Tammy in the chat room. They're all saying hi there, and lots of hearts going across the screen and lots of love. First of all, I just want to say we have so many new people joining us every single day. The page just keeps growing and growing, and our community keeps growing bigger and bigger with moms and dads all over the world. And I was so shocked. We did a live stream on Monday night, and it was a Q&A. And after the show, because sometimes I can't see all the comments as we go, I went back and I looked at, when we asked the question, who's new? And there were like dozens and dozens of new people. So I'm going to ask that question again because I was just so thrilled to see everybody and people from all over the world, literally all over the world. So if you're new, I just want you to go ahead and type in right now, I'm new, say hi, and let us all welcome you properly because this is an amazing community and you've found gold here and we have found you and we're really excited about that. So go ahead and just let me know that you're new. And for anybody who is new, let me just tell you for a moment who I am because you may be watching for the very first time. Like I said, my name is Sherry Creso. I'm a certified nurse midwife and an international board certified lactation consultant and the host of the show. And I work with lots of different brands and companies and do all kinds of online education and teach lots of new mommies, which a lot of them are here in the chat with us. So that's who I am. I'm going to turn it over for a moment so that we can let Tammy introduce herself because Tammy is going to be talking to us tonight about a really, common, I would say as parents, it's something that we all have in common. It's a topic that we will all share at one point or another, and that's potty training our children. So Tammy, can you give us a little bit of your background and just explain to the audience like who you are and how you got to be doing what you're doing?
Sure. First, I will apologize for a little bit of a raspy throat. I have a cold, so if you see me kind of go off screen, I may be blowing my own nose or getting some tea, so I apologize. I'm not as clear.
No problem. We will excuse you. You'll just say, need to blow my nose, and we'll go for it. No worries.
But I'm so thrilled to be here. I started my company almost 12 years ago when I was just a really nervous new mom, and I'm a therapist. I worked with children. I had training with children. My first daughter was born. Bam, she had colic. She was crying all the time. And I thought, why can't I call someone to help talk me through this? Like if my washing machine was broken. I didn't want to go to traditional therapy. I want to just kind of help on the fly. So I got certified in coaching, parent coaching, and I have been doing that ever since, where I talk to many parents, mostly new parents, and I help them through these struggles. Bottles, formula, breastfeeding, schedules. It's really stressful and overwhelming, and it's so good to know when you have support and when you have help and guidance because there's so many opinions out there. So I love what I do. I love working with moms. Even though I'm now a mom 12 years and I'm a quote unquote expert, I need help every day and make
Yeah.
mistakes every day. There is no perfect parent.
Yeah.
Everyone does the best that they can.
Amen
But
to that. I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. That's for sure. Um, and you're located in the New Jersey area, but you also work with parents all over the country, right?
yeah, so I do a lot of Skype calls and phone calls. So even out of the country, I've done. Parents call me if they want to discuss something, potty training, terrible tantrums, the twos, a new sister, a new sibling. And, you may need one call, you may need two calls, you may need half a call. And parents can reach out, nationwide and get the help and guidance they need.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Joe's going to go ahead and post up your information so that you guys can follow Tammy. Tammy's here on Facebook. Her link is right in the post above. When we're finished with the stream, if you want to click over and go over her wall, you can do that. And Joe's going to go ahead and post her website. And actually, she put together a link here to be able to go to all her blog posts about all different topics. So we're going to go ahead and post that right now in the beginning of the show, because lots of times they get a little tired and we lose people at the end. I just want everyone to have your link. So Joe, you can go ahead and post that. I would also just take a minute to thank our amazing partner sponsor, and that's Naturepedic, which is a company that I adore. I've been working with them for a very long time. It's just one of my favorite brands that makes amazing, organic, non-toxic, really safe, healthy products for sleep, mattresses, crib sheet protectors, mattress pads, changing pads, all without flame retardants, without any kind of toxic chemicals, no off-gassing, no PVCs. So just amazing, great stuff for safe for baby. And tonight we have an awesome prize, very generous. Naturepedic is going to be giving away a waterproof mattress protector pad, and you'll get your choice. The winner will actually get a choice from crib through king. So literally, if you want a waterproof mattress protector for your baby's crib, you can get that, and all the way through twin, queen, and king size for your own bed. They make it for all sizes. So that's an awesome prize. So really excited about that. Everybody give some hearts and love for Naturepedic and for our prize. To win the prize tonight, all you have to do is like or love this post and then comment right here in the stream. Just tell me what you love about Naturepedic, why you need it, how it would help you, and that we'll pick a winner. Okay, so fantastic. Yay. We have a lot to get to, so I want to get right to the point here and get us right into the topic, potty training. And I have a 15-year-old now and a 13-year-old, and it's like when you're in the middle of that whole idea and concept of potty training, that transition time, you think you're never going to get through it. And it's only looking back now that I'm like, oh, right, potty training. It seems like such a long time ago. But for all these new moms, from all the questions that came in, you could see it's like can be a stressful time. There were a lot of questions. I'm just going to start with one question to lead us off into the conversation tonight. And then Tammy and I are going to help you to hopefully be reassured tonight. That's the main point. It's the main point here, okay? So the first question I'm going to read just came in from Shannon. And she said, how early can you start potty training? My daughter is 15 months old, and she goes to the bathroom with me when I go. She said, haha. And then when she has to poop, she'll actually find a quiet place and hide and poop. I feel like she might be ready since she's doing that, but not sure. And she will go to the potty and say, pee pee, poo poo. So she knows what you can do on it. Tammy, when is the right time to start your child?
Well, that's, I like to tell people that, really this topic to be very relaxed about. Don't really stress out about the rules. The older the children are, the easier potty training becomes. Certain things have to happen for a child to be potty trained. They have to have, good cognitive ability to understand what parents are saying when they're modeling the potty. They have to have good verbal ability to say, I have to go to the bathroom. They even have to have what we call fine motor, gross motor skills where they can undress themselves.
That's true, yeah.
They have to have good socialization skills. So if, they're not right near mom, they can get comfortable saying, I have to go to the bathroom. So a lot of these things have to develop, and it's usually around 3 when most kids are ready. But some of the times kids will model it, they will verbalize it, they may have some of the skills, and you can always introduce a potty and have them try. And if they're doing it, terrific. It has to be all positive based. There's no punishments. There's no, don't do this. But around 3 seems to be the general number when children have the most success.
Right. So her daughter's 15 months, which is kind of young.
Yes.
And I remember when my daughter was first potty training, she started to show interest and wanted to sit on the potty. And I took that as a sign that she was ready to potty train, but then it didn't happen for like another year and a half after that. So just showing interest or watching you do something doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready to train.
Right, exactly. And if they show interest and you do it at home, terrific. You can praise it, model it with them, and encourage it. But 15 months is a little bit early. They may not have all of those skills yet to be able to do it really independently on their own.
Yep. And, just like with everything else, I just want to say, we always give like kind of parameters of when we think is the usual time for something. And then there'll always be exceptions to that rule. So if Tammy's saying 3 years old and your child's 2 years old in training, that might be the appropriate time for your child. Say on the other side, your child may be older than 3 and still not ready. So don't be, it's not so exact. And, we're giving you kind of an average age, and all children always, it's not a chronological thing. It's a developmental
100%.
thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't stress that enough. When you're teaching children respect, or you're sticking to a schedule for a feeding or nighttime routines, you have to be very, very exact. But in potty training, everybody's going to train. Your children are not going to go to school in diapers.
Eventually they will.
They're all going to get there. So you want to just really take the more relaxed you are, the more success the children will have. Very positive, relaxed situation, not full of stress, not full of pressure, because everyone's going to get there in their own time.
Totally. And I think that's the thing with all of this, that sometimes we do some comparing, and we're like, what, and especially, and that's the thing with the internet, like, of course, the internet's an amazing thing. I did not have this access when I was having my kids, and I was, I had children all of your ages. I did not have this. And I look at it and I go, wow, what an amazing tool that we could sit here tonight. We could stream like this all over the world, and moms could be watching this and they're interacting and talking to each other and talking to us. But at the same time, it gives up, you also have all that comparison because you're hearing from other people what they're doing, which you may not have in the past. And that kind of can make you feel like maybe there's something wrong when there's really nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. Certainly when you want to start potty training, you want to make sure they're medically okay. There's no issue. If they were having a really long time at 5, maybe there's a GI issue or a urinary issue. But everybody is different. Every kid is different. Every family is different. Siblings are different. And it's just not a race. There's no way to compare because so much of it is biochemical. Understanding the hormones, understanding how to control the bladder, or sensing when your stomach is full. So this is really a time where parents want to just give themselves as much calm as they can, as less stress as they can, and know eventually it will get there.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I'm seeing someone in the chat room. Jason said dads too. Yes, Jason, dads too. I apologize. Not just moms and dads. And actually, I'm really happy to see you here because I know there are a lot of dads who watch who may not who may not speak up like that. But I have to remember, yes, it is not just moms. Usually it's the dads in the background going, all I hear is your voice talking all the time. What are you watching over there? And then I've also got dads in the background here because Joe, my husband, is actually in the chat room. So anyone who sees me posting at the same time as talking, I'm not that good. It's actually Joe. Joe's my husband and my partner. And most of you know Joe, but he's there putting up all the links for us and chatting along with you. So that's Joe. Hi, Joe. Okay. Tammy, I'm going to move on to the next question. All right. This question came in from Felicia. And Felicia said, how should I start the potty training process? I bought a little potty that is my 2.5-year-old in my 2.5-year-old's bathroom and a reward chart with stickers, but he won't go in it. He'll wait until I put him in bed for his nap to poop, even though I put him on the potty right before. Should I stop putting him in a diaper and go straight to underwear during the day? Pull-ups? I'm so lost. So, what are some of the methods? What is the process? Like, and I know that there's all different kinds of methods. Let's talk a little bit about what to do.
The first thing you want to do is get a little potty, not a potty seat, but making sure that their feet are flat. They can decorate the potty. They can put stickers on it. Um, you model it for them. You go to the potty. You show them what it is. You use the word pee and poop. Modeling is really important because you want to show them and do it with them. And then you want to have a fun potty, whether it's a singing one or a character. You want to have one where they can easily get to it. They can put their feet flat on it. A lot of people use rewards. Now, stickers are good, but sometimes kids like immediate gratification, especially a toddler that doesn't have a lot of ability to kind of hold. So people use, candy. And you're not going to bribe your children forever to go to the bathroom, so don't worry about that. People always ask for that.
Right.
You give them like a couple M&Ms, 1 or 2 to go pee pee, maybe 5 to go poo poo. You try, certainly you could try if you're home every hour and see if they have to go before naps, before bath time, after bath time. The best way to start is just by regularly getting it in. And if they can't, there's nothing to say. They don't want to do it. Do not stress them. Do not push them. It should be like, oh, we just woke up. Let's try the potty. Oh, it's time for nap. Let's try the potty. We just woke up from nap. Potty. Before bath, after bath, before bed. Let them try. But if they're not ready, you don't want to have any stress about punishment, anything negative about not doing it. They will do it when they're ready. So for that child that gets in their crib and goes to the bathroom, that's just where they're more comfortable. Usually they pee first and poop comes, many months later. Children will say, give me a diaper to go poop, or they'll put them in a diaper. These are all okay because it's not a race. It's just starting the process, starting to model, starting to give the words. You can get a pee-pee doll. You can pour a little water in the doll. It can be a boy, girl, or doll, or girl or boy doll. You put them on the potty. You show what you modeled for them. They drink, we go pee-pee, we go poo-poo. It's a lot of verbal explaining, a lot of modeling, rewards to do it. Do you want to try going pee-pee? You can have these little, 2 M&Ms, even if they don't go, just for sitting down. And then they get more if they do it. This is all positive. All the studies say there is no punishment. You get a reward even if you don't go, just for trying, and go at their pace. If they want to keep using the diaper, eventually they're going to stop that when they get uncomfortable, but don't force it because they're saying, I'm not ready. When there are some times where someone has to do something before school. The school will say, by September, there needs to be no diaper. And in that situation, you can take 3 days or you can take a week. And there are those kind of boot camp type philosophies. You don't put a diaper on. You let them walk around bare bottom. You put towels around. They may have accidents, but it's a commitment. You have to really stay by the home, stay by the potty for a couple days, and that usually works well. But the older the child, this has always been my model, the easier it'll be because they're learning so much. Their brains have more awareness. They have more awareness of their body. Their fingers are able to take their overalls off. They have better words to sense. I have to go to the bathroom. 2, you can start with the modeling, but by 3, 4, they really have all of the tools to really follow through with it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think, the main thing here is to, like what you're saying, is to not know that you could do all these things and work with them, but when they're ready, that's when they're actually going to do it.
And I know
And I
it's
love what you're
frustrating.
saying. Like even they get a reward even for the effort.
Yes, for the effort. We decorate the potty, we sit on it. I know this is a challenging topic because, I'm paid to be an expert and I want to give parents the solutions. And I've been doing potty training lectures for a decade. And it's hard because it's the one area where there isn't step one, step two, step three, step four. It's really different. And it's all about being relaxed and going with their flow. When they show interest, you want to model it. So you want to get the potty, you want to get the pee pee poo poo doll, you want to make it all positive, but it's not something you can accomplish if they're not ready.
Well, I think that when I think of potty training and when I look at all the questions and all the comments that came in, it seems like everybody's looking for that moment, that potty training moment. And from
Right.
everything that you're describing, it's not really a moment, it's a process.
Process.
And so and it's like it takes time. It's a whole process that doesn't even last just a week. It's like it almost seems like it's years of a process of potty training, watching you, modeling you, talking about pee pee, talking about poo poo, the whole, and literally when everybody's asking these questions of it's taking so long and what do I do? And here's the issues. The truth is none of those things are really issues at all, but they're all really normal parts of the normal process and transition that the child will go through. And so actually it's more about us, all of us as parents, understanding the normal transition than trying to fix the child, which the child is doing actually the exact right thing.
Exactly. And I can't stress that enough, that it's really, um, like you said, a process. There's no window you're going to miss. There's no window. You
Yeah.
know,
A couple people said that. A couple people said, I feel like I missed the window. They were
if
talking
there's a
about it and now they're
window,
not.
millions of kids wouldn't be potty trained because how do
Mm-hmm.
you know your window?
And a bunch of teenagers be walking around in diapers, which they're not.
If they're not, everybody is going to get there. And what you can do is only introduce it as a part of the routine. So just like you start at 2 to brush teeth, you can start at 2.5 or 3 with when we brush our teeth, we use the potty. When we wake up, we use the potty. Before nap, at those transitional parts of the day, you visit the potty. You
Yeah.
try, you get a little reward, you make it all fun and terrific.
And a
Um,
lot of repetition, and from what you're saying, a lot of repetition, making it part of like daily routine.
Yes. And when they do start going and you do switch them to underwear, you have to really do it every hour. You want to
Yeah.
give them the best chance of doing well on the potty. So if you're in one of these things and you're committed to, okay, they're starting to go, I'm taking that diaper away, then take them every 30 minutes. Take them
Mm-hmm.
every hour. Prevent an accident from happening by preempting it. Just
Yeah.
don't wait for their cues. They're not going to know the cues yet. If they
Great.
started in the underwear, then make it a little timer. Every 30 minutes, try to go to the potty. Every hour, try to go to the potty. If they have an accident, shouldn't even be discussed. Just
Mm-hmm.
no problem. You're learning. The issues that I've seen and I've read about are all when there are some sort of negative feelings around it, stress, fear, and we don't want any of that. It's
Right.
just when they start, give them the best chance by taking them more often and just model it.
Right. So you just mentioned a whole bunch of potty training do's, like all the things to do, which are like, not giving them reinforcement, encouragement, congratulating them when they succeed and also rewarding them even if they don't, that they tried, all those things. And what are some of I'm going to actually ask, it actually came in the form of a question. So let me go ahead and ask Hannah's question. Hannah said, is there anything that would be counterproductive to potty training? I've read lots about what I should do, but is there anything that we should definitely avoid? Also, what about diapers? Should we stop cold turkey, switch back and forth? Once they do start training, what she's asking is, should we switch back and forth from diapers to underwear? But is there any like real don'ts when it comes to potty training that people should keep in mind?
Don't do it during a stressful time. when when kids are younger and they have a stressful time, they regress. They act more immaturely. So a new sibling is not the ideal time. Maybe before the baby comes, but not when the baby's here. A new move, something happening at home, on vacation, just no change. Don't try to do it when there's a lot of change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it a deal, but not a big deal. Make it just like the toothbrush. So you want to get excited, but not so excited that they're like, what is this? Just
Right.
it is. Mommy uses it, daddy uses it, sister, brother use it. You can try it and just make it a part of the routine. You're just kind of explaining this process and this piece of this toilet and how it plays a part in their lives. But don't go so overboard
That's
that
such a good point. I didn't even think of that. Like I think of a child at 3 years old and you get really happy and excited about something is exactly when they want to push back and say no.
they
And
want to
so,
try something, and if they don't like it, they don't want to try. They still going to get, even if they sit down, they're still going to get a little M&M. So, or a little gummy vitamin. There's like vitamins that you can use. Some sort of immediate treat for them to try. And if they don't, we just move on. We put it on the times where they're in the bathroom, or it's been an hour. But we just want to make it a learning experience that this is a part of our life, like brushing our teeth and getting dressed in the morning or taking our bath. So it's a lot of talking and verbalizing, but nothing negative, no punishments. If they have an accident, it's no big deal. You don't want to rush any of that stuff. Don't rush the nighttime training because children have to have something called antidiuretic hormone. They have to have the biochemical ability to shut the bladder down in the middle of the night. That takes time.
yeah,
So
can we talk a little bit more about that? Because that was a couple people asked that question about nighttime training and the difference between like trying to get them to go through the night and you're describing the physiological developmental stage of a child.
right. So it's this hormone, antidiuretic hormone, which allows us all to tell our bladders to quiet down in the middle of the night and kind of hold it. So what you can do is, you take them to the bathroom before they go to bed. You take them to the bathroom when they wake up. If you have weeks of dry pull-ups, there's your answer. But it's not fun to wake up wet. It's not, you want to have the proof before you start the nighttime piece. Let them show you they're ready because that does take longer.
Yeah. Yep. And that's where the Naturepedic waterproof mattress covers will really come in handy too, which is why we are giving one away today from Naturepedic. You want something that's going to protect your mattress. And I know my children, I don't want to say it too loud because they'll get embarrassed, but they had accidents for many years. And that's, I think, really normal.
Right.
For children, during the day, at night, even after they're done potty training. So protecting the mattresses is really important. And even if you have a waterproof mattress, like a waterproof crib mattress, having the waterproof cover makes it so that you don't have to clean the mattress in the middle of the night or wipe the mattress down.
Oh, yes. And I tell people double up. So if you are training, ways you can help is take them before bed, take them again before you go to bed, wake them up, have them try. Double up put 2 of those waterproof mattress shields. So if there is an accident, it's 1, 2, 3, you take off the first layer. Guess what? There's already another one underneath. You don't have to change the bed sheets. Make it as calm and cool for everybody as possible.
Yeah, and also I think that expect the accidents. Expect the accidents in the middle of the night. And sometimes, you're tired. Your child can pick up on frustration.
100%.
And so I love what you just offered, which is like, expect that it's going to happen. So be the parent, be prepared, have the double layers so that when it does happen, you can stay as calm in the middle of the night as you would be during the day and follow these same tips to keep your child understand that they can't help it, that they didn't do it intentionally.
Right. Because even just being like, turning the lights on, changing the whole bed, that's going to affect them. They're going to think they're mad at me, they're upset with me. So preempt that. So if it happens, no worries, the lights stay off. You just take the first 2 off, and underneath is a sheet and another mattress pad, and go back to bed. All's good, really calm.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about, let's see, I have a question here. This one came in from Katie. She said, my daughter's 3 years old. She'll go to the potty when we ask her, but she won't ask us. When I put her in underwear, she cries and wants to wear her diaper with the underwear over it. Any suggestions?
I think that's great. That's what she wants right now. You could certainly do pull-ups with the underwear over it. And you could certainly take her more often. You know, kids can't wait 2 hours. So go when she tells you and then offer, do you want, and you have that's where the little candies come in, little lolly. Give them, you're not bribing kids forever, but you're helping toddlers have a problem controlling their impulses. So they
Yeah.
may want to go to the bathroom, but then suddenly they have a couple jelly beans and all of a sudden they're happy to go. So work with them. They want to wear their diaper and their underwear over, fine. Just give them more chances to go so that that diaper keeps staying dry and dry. Don't wait the 2 hours. Set it every 30 minutes or every hour and give that reward for trying.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's really good. What are some of the we talked about some of the potty training fears. I just want to go through some of the fears that children can experience as we're discussing, like things that you wouldn't think that they could get afraid during potty training, but I could imagine that, especially if they feel like they're disappointing you, or like as we were talking about those middle of the night accidents, or even during the day accidents, embarrassment or feeling, depending on the child.
That
Um,
you hit them all on the head. Their fear of letting you down, feel of being embarrassed from their siblings or their friends. Some
mhm.
kids are fearful of big public toilets because they're so loud. You have to
Oh
explain,
yeah.
could I fall in? You have to explain what it is. And if they're going to start moving to an out potty where you put a potty seat over, you have to explain why it's louder, why it's bigger, what it looks like. You have to talk a lot about these things so you can explain them to them because a potty outside may not look like your potty at home. And I recommend everyone in their car have one of those porta potties.
Oh,
I
I had that. I totally had that. Saved us. That totally saved us.
That really helps because it makes something like they need to go, but they're scared of the big bathroom at the mall. They have this little porta potty. They have ones that fold, to a little rectangle. Make it easier for them because, big bustling bathrooms can be scary. All the noises. Some kids are sensitive when they're toddlers. The dryers are going. Lots of flushing is happening. Explain to them, this you could never fall in. You're not going to go down. This is the potty. This is the water. This is where it goes. But I
Hey,
think
listen, hey, listen, I get afraid of public bathrooms. I can imagine a little.
how little kids are. I'm thinking about when you're like 2, you're so little and there's all these people around. So it can be scary.
Yeah.
You just want to address all of it. And the calmer you are, and the more it's positive and reward based, the less those fears will come to play.
Yeah. Yeah, what we were describing are these little portable potties that they make. And when I had my store, I used to sell them in the store. We had them for both the girls. They're these little plastic, they were literally this big and they fit inside a bag. It would fold up into a little bag. And then it had these like disposable, I hope they still make them. I haven't seen them in a while, but they're like these disposable bags that you could line it with. And it had these big like maxi pads kind of sewn into the bottom of them. So when they peed, it would absorb it and then you could just throw it away.
And the
It
one
was,
I used, you just use garbage bags from the supermarket.
there
Just
you go.
2 little legs that came down, and then you would line it with a little garbage bag, and then tie it up when you were done, and have
Yep.
the. It
It
was
was
really
really great. It was really great for Joe too. And this is great for all the dads too. If when he would say, I got the girls, I'm taking the girls out. I'm not going to take them into a men's room. Like, how am I going to? So it was such a great tool to have, was to have that little potty. We were able to even set it up like on the floor of our car. So we could
yeah,
go out to the car and they could just pee or poop right there in the car. And
it's a
we used to
game
keep it
changer.
just inside of the basket of our stroller.
Yep. In the back of the car, in the stroller, in the diaper bag. It is such a game changer.
Totally. That is a must. That is like an absolute must have, especially when you're on the go.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many dressing rooms in the mall they peed inside those little on those little potties inside the
Wherever
dressing
they can get, wherever they get the privacy.
room. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my God, so awesome. All right, let's answer a few more questions here because there's a lot of them. You did talk about the best. Is it best to wait if there's another baby coming? Megan said that her son is starting to show some signs of readiness, but he's still a little young, 17 months old. So
Oh,
too young, and there.
get the potty. Get the pot. You can certainly get the accoutrement, the potty. Let them pick it out, decorate it. Get the big brother little doll. Show how it works. Have them try. Give the rewards. You don't have to start. You can model and verbalize the process without making it happen.
Right. And that was another question. Do they need their own potty chair?
Yes, the potty chair. They have to be able to put their feet flat. That's like a physiological piece. That children need a small potty when they get started. They feel much more comfortable when they can flat foot the ground.
Would you recommend having like multiple places, like the potty, and then like one of those seats that go on the toilet as well? Would you have them start with going to the same place each time?
I would start with the smaller potty and the lid as they get older. They
Okay.
have to get comfortable with that one.
Yeah. I mean, because they are trying to get comfortable, and it's the repetition and the routine. They know where they go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Um, Another question. Let's see if there's any questions coming in here. There's so many questions and conversation going on. Yeah.
Taking a
Kelsey said her son is afraid of public restrooms after the automatic flusher flushed while he was still sitting. I had him. Yeah, that scares me when it happens. So I can only imagine a little child. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. And Brooke's asking, what do you recommend for a reward? We talked a little bit about, M&Ms, stickers, all kinds of whatever.
vitamins, any of those.
Vitamin.
I'm just gonna blow my nose for 1 second.
Go ahead, go blow your nose. All right. I'm going to talk for a minute because I want to give a little bit more information about the waterproof mattress pad from Naturepedic because there's all different versions of waterproof pads out there. And one of the things about the Naturepedic brand is, like I said, it's all non-toxic. It's completely chemical free. It's made with like a soft organic flannel and on the top and a cotton muslin in the bottom. So it's super breathable as well. Really absorbent, extra soft. And it's going to create that like thin waterproof barrier without making the baby super hot as well. And that's the same for the adult ones too. I have some information. Let me just see. The adult ones, they come from twin to king, and they have 2 layers of like organic jersey cotton fabric. And they have this dry sleep technology, which I'm just going to read here, which they say effectively blocks liquids from passing through while still allowing the fabric to breathe. And I think that's important because a lot of the mattress pads can be very plasticky feeling. Not only are they going to have all the chemicals, which you don't want when you're sleeping and the off-gassing of that, but it can make you hot where it's not breathing and uncomfortable and crinkly. Yeah, exactly. And that's what you're not going to get with the Naturepedic. And even for your own bed, I would recommend, because we know, let's face it, our kids come into bed with us and, they may have access. Yeah.
I could use it for fun.
Pee, poo, pretty much everything's going to happen inside your bed. So you want to make sure that you're protecting your mattresses. If anything gets into the mattress, you should always have a mattress protector on all your mattresses because once it gets into the mattress, it can grow bacteria and molds and spores and everything. So you really need to protect your mattresses. They're meant to last a long time. It also blocks dust mites and other allergens too. So these mattress protector pads, it's huge, and they come fitted. So they fit right over the mattress. They stay put. So I think Joe actually put, who's text? Okay. I'm getting text messages in the middle of the show here. Yeah, Joe put up the link. So if you guys want to check out the Naturepedic mattress pads, oh, he just put it up again. He put it up there for you. Excellent. Okay, let's answer a few more questions. We still have time here, okay? Elizabeth said, how do you get them to sit still on the potty instead of on the floor? Mine usually sits on the potty and will pee on the floor. If he poos, he will not sit and finish, but he gets up. So I guess what she's asking is, she gets him to sit, but then doesn't, he likes to get up. So he'll
Right.
sit, but then he'll go pee on the floor. Would you just say that's just not ready?
First of all, toddlers, it's hard to sit. Now, if you can certainly sit there holding again the gummy vitamins, the jelly beans. I don't want to keep going back to it, but toddlers have these emotions, strong ones. They want to get up when they get up. They don't care. But if
Yeah.
they're looking at a jelly bean and you can say, wait, one more, sit, let me count at 15 and then jelly bean, help them control their impulses. But if they're not wanting to sit, that's just a sign of unreadiness. Not that they're not going to do it. And that's what people have to realize. They're all going to do it, but they may not be ready. But help them along with, the pee-pee treats, the poo-poo treats, have them ready and visible, like, wow. And if you really don't want to do candy, then maybe healthy treats. They're little dried fruit snacks, dried something, but they need a treat because they don't want to stop their day.
What do you think about like the charts?
The charts, behavioral charts are great, but they require a cognitive process that toddlers don't have yet. It's more for 5-year-olds, maybe
Gotcha.
1.5, because the chart is to say, look at my sequencing. I've done 5 days on a potty. No concept of time at all, but we do have a concept of if mommy sits and counts to 10 and you get these little shiny, even a toy, something, that's what they're able to process. Reward in behavioral charts really have to start at 4, no less, because it's not something, they don't have any concept for what the stickers mean.
Yep. No, good point. Good point. I see someone asking in the chat room, and it was also one of the questions earlier. This came in from, it's Ingrid. It's the same person in the chat room that asked the question. So I'm going to go ahead. Ingrid, I'm going to answer your question. Ingrid said, okay, so I've potty trained 2 girls and my youngest is a son. I've heard mixed advice about boys. I have no clue when to start with him. Is there a difference between training boys and girls?
Boys typically train later. So that's one thing. And the process of verbalizing and modeling is virtually the same. The only thing that I've ever heard with boys is sometimes they'll put a little Cheerio or something in the bowl to help with if there's an aim issue. But mostly it's very similar. You can use a different doll and you can wait a little bit longer because sometimes boys just developmentally take a little bit longer.
And would you start with sitting to pee versus standing?
Most of them start sitting, yes.
Yeah, because it would seem like an advanced, not that I know personally, but it would, and I have 2 daughters, so I never trained a boy, but it would seem like a more advanced skill to stand and aim.
Yes, that comes next. First, it's just sit and not have, control yourself, which is a big deal. Not everyone can do that. So sit where you want to start.
Right. Okay, great. There was a question here from Megan who asked, she said her son, who will be 3 at the end of August, was fully potty trained during the day as of March. So she was, as of March, fully trained during the day. By May, he started having more accidents, and by the beginning of June, almost completely regressed. We were traveling for 10 days at the end of May, and he did great. We had grandma visiting last week, and he seemed to get back on track on his own. I think he likes getting his extra praises. However, the last few days he's only been pooping. He's only been pooping in his underwear, doing great peeing in the toilet, but back to poop accidents every time. Any tips? We're only back to doling out rewards when he poops on the toilet. So what would cause that?
Any kind of change causes regression, like we spoke about before. So travel, hard. Visitors, hard. So that's a natural regression.
Yeah.
He's verbal enough, you could say, do you feel more comfortable, pooping in your underwear? Do you want your pull-ups back? Certainly if they have the ability to explain what's going on, you want to ask them in a non-threatening way. And you want to make sure it's not a GI thing. Sometimes kids get backed up. And then it becomes painful to go to the bathroom, and then they don't want to go to the bathroom. So that's something you really want to check, that they're drinking enough water and that they're regular. You always want to be checking in. If there is a sudden change in a child, and it's not, a regression from traveling or visitor, which they had two of these. You want to always check with your pediatrician just to make sure there's no urinary tract infection or constipation issues, because that's a big damper on training. Children get nervous, they hold it, then it becomes very painful to go to the bathroom and they get in a really bad cycle. So you really want to be on that with fiber and drinking a lot of water. And if they feel more comfortable and they're having a lot of accidents, maybe put the diapers on for a little bit and let them feel comfortable. They're not going to stay there. It's not like giving a passy back to someone after you spent a year taking it away.
Yep.
If you regress with potty training, you're always going to be able to go back. They're not going to walk around wanting to be 5 years old with a diaper. So take all that fear of any back steps away, because it's something that's always going to fix itself.
Yeah. Seems like some regression is like a normal part of this process with potty training. It's almost like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And because it is a process, and you will see that I think it's rare to find anyone who just like potty trains overnight and then never goes out. You hear it. You do hear people say, my child just potty trained and that was the end of it.
I've not seen a lot of it.
Yeah, not a lot of it. I've heard a few people, and then you wonder, like, are they even telling the truth? You always got to wonder, always question that, everybody, okay? When people have their stories of how perfect their child was, always question, maybe not.
Where is this coming from? Right, because this should not be a competitive thing, potty training.
No, not at all.
Because everyone gets to the end. It's the one thing, not all kids learn respect. Not all kids have perfect sleeping schedules. Not all kids are great eaters. All kids are going to potty train. So you just have to relax knowing that it will happen.
Yep. And I think that probably one of the biggest comparisons can come from yourself, from one child to the next.
Yes, huge. But they're all different. They're all different. Maybe it takes one day with one kid and the other one takes months. So I just tell parents, start it later. I know everyone at 2 seems to be a rush to do it. You can do it then. You can try it. I just think it will be harder. Have your kids be equipped with the best toolbox possible. Their cognitive skills, their verbal skills, their fine motor skills, their socialization skills. Give them all of that so they have the most ability to do it well and with confidence.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of it, is like, helping to build up their confidence. Use potty training as an opportunity to help them build confidence, to build self-esteem, to build nothing to shame them. None of this should be about shaming in any way. It's like the opposite of what you want to do during this process is any kind of shame. And I think that, more than anything, like, you can memorize or write down some of the tips that Tammy's giving you. But the truth is that it's really about a mindset of like understanding that this is an opportunity for you to teach life skills, to feel good about yourself, to understand that we make mistakes, that we have accidents sometimes, that we do this even as adults. We may not be peeing in our pants. Well, some of us maybe, but it's, it's part of what we do throughout our life and how hard we are on ourselves. And, they learn that from a really young age when they see you disappointed, then depending on the child, they can become really hard on themselves, which carries out through a lifetime of feeling shame about things or not forgiving themselves. I think that's what I want to say, like forgiveness of yourself.
This is the one area, like I said, it's not teaching respect. It's a parent's job to teach right and wrong. It's our job to be tough sometime and to make them feel not great if they do something wrong, but not in potty training, because so much of it is biochemical. This is great job for sitting down. Great job for trying. You had an accident. Who cares? We all have that. Normalize it, normalize it, normalize it. You're not going to bribe them forever. People are always worried that they're going to have to give M&Ms forever. It goes away. The kids literally forget about it. Otherwise, everyone would be having M&Ms, because that's the biggest question I get. Aren't they going to be bribed forever to go to the bathroom? No, they forget about it. It becomes routine. Think of it like brushing their teeth. You're teaching them another like hygiene skill. And you're introducing it and making it fun and making it easy to do, and make it all positive.
Totally. Yeah, well, there's another question here that what Kimberly asks, what is the difference between diapers, training pants, and pull-ups? Should you switch from diapers to one of these? Like, so is it better to go to the pull-ups in the process or?
So the diapers are diapers. They have the two-sided closures. Pull-ups are diapers that are a little bit thinner and they slide up and down like underwear. So that's
Mhm.
much easier for a child if they're learning to do it, but they may have accidents. They just slide them down. Now, training pants are thicker underwear. But if they're prone to accidents, they don't feel great when they're wet. They are thicker, so they protect them from getting their clothes wet, but they'll feel the wetness. Now, some parents say we want them to feel that wetness, so we put them in that. But if they're going, no poo, it's an unpleasant experience for them. So I think
Yeah.
training pants, if you're going to use them, are best for training with peeing. It's
Yeah.
less messy, uncomfortable,
Well,
and
it's kind of similar to when I think of like the difference between cloth diapering and disposable diapering, and I have a lot of clients who cloth diaper, and I work a lot with cloth diapering. And what we find is that they actually do train a lot faster. And one of the reasons that I think that that happens is just because they do feel wet.
right,
When you pee in a cloth diaper, when the child pees, they actually feel the wetness, and it,
right.
like you said, it's not the most comfortable feeling. And when they pee in a diaper, those diapers are so absorbent, they don't feel anything, and they may not even know that it happened.
Right. But some of
So,
the pull-ups have little designs if you pee on them. The training pants will usually have something that will help them.
right,
The pull-ups, the flowers come in if you pee or something to show the child what's happened.
gotcha.
So it's a
Yep,
little different than a full diaper.
yeah. Let's see here. Any other questions? Well, just the nighttime training. I would say that I would say that that goes slower, like at night, like we were talking about. Is it okay to keep them? Is it okay? How long during the night when you see no wetness would you say is a good time to like switch them out of the pull-ups at night?
If you see like 2 weeks and there's not a accident, then try it. But I wouldn't go the whole night. I would do before they go to bed, they go to the potty. Before parents go to bed, you
Yeah.
wake them, go to the potty, and then give them that shorter distance.
Hmm.
And if they have like a couple accidents, that's not a big deal. But
Hmm.
help them out by waking them when you go to bed.
And
Uh,
would it help to like stop drinking a lot of liquids like within an hour or two before going to sleep as well, like to make it easier to not have to hold so much?
it
Keep an eye on
would,
how much.
but some kids do that, some kids don't. So
Right.
the best thing is to shorten that time, and that's why the latest the parent goes to bed. If they do 11 and they get up at 6, that's easier than 7 to 6. So
Right.
try to decrease, not gobs and gobs of water before bed. And then if the child, now some children, if you wake them, they can't go back to bed. So if that's your child, then don't do that. But other children can be woken and they're a little groggy. They pee, they go to the bathroom, you put them back in bed, and that will help them get to the morning. And
Right.
if you see like 2 weeks, that's a good sign. And if there
Right.
are accidents here or there, but they're sporadic, that's okay. But if they go back to every night, then maybe you want to try again because that's the biochemical piece. It's about having that antidiuretic hormone being released in their blood. And a
Yep.
child cannot control that at all. That's their chemistry.
Yep. Someone here is in the chat room and is asking a question. This is from Kelly. Hi, Kelly. She says she has boy-girl twins that will be 3 on Monday. Happy birthday. They need to be potty trained for preschool now. And I see this a lot where it's like there's like a time limit, right? I'm having a hard time with training them. They like to sit on the potty and ask to sit on the potty, but they don't go, never have. I put a diaper on them, and again, they will go in their diapers. We've never really pushed them to potty train until the daycare that they go to brought it up. So what do you?
I really don't like this, I have to say, as an expert. I hate when the schools push it. I hate when the daycares push it because what's the big deal? You don't want to change the diapers. Some kids
Yeah.
just aren't ready, and it causes so much stress for the parents. Parents will call me, what should I do? I can't go to the school. They won't let me in. So that stance I don't like at all.
Mhm.
All you can do is, again, get the boy girl dolls. model, give them the cookies, give them whatever motivates a child.
Yeah.
Good job sitting down. Do you want to try to make pee-pee and you can get, these M&Ms for pee-pee? You try to really motivate them, and try to force them to go. But the more you force a toddler to do something they don't want to do, it will backfire. So I would try with getting the dolls, decorating the potties, give them snacks, treats, candies, have it all there. You get this for sitting, you get these for pee pee, you get that for poo poo. And if you're really having a tough time, talk to the school. It's just wrong to ask someone to do something that, again, is a cognitive, biochemical, behavioral thing that is hard at that age to have done at a certain time. So you want to do all those positive things we talked about: the doll, the modeling, the praise, the little treats. It can be go to the dollar store and get them little things to play with or little candies to chew, but they have to have that reward right away for peeing. They have to see it and then want to do it. And if you're trying everything and it's not working, it's worth calling the school, because it's just unfair. Children will get their.
I so agree with that. And you really have to wonder, like, just think, and I've seen this before with daycares and schools where they become very insistent on certain things that are really pushing your child to advance far faster than they possibly can physiologically and psychologically. And talk to the school instead of trying to convince your child and forcing your child to comply with the school. Right. Talk to the school to try to comply with your child, because really they're there to serve your child, and this is not serving your child.
I mean, I would say you can give 2 weeks and try to do the treats and the rewards, but if it doesn't work, it's the adult that serves the child, not the other way around.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's pretty much with everything there. So I just want to just make sure that you guys all have Tammy's website there. Joe, can you post it again for us? And make sure that you see that there's, in my post here, when you guys are done, you can click on Tammy's page and go right to her Facebook page. If they have further questions about potty training or anything else.
100%. I will answer every question. Give me this
awesome.
And tell me. I will answer anything. Go ahead and message me on Facebook. I also created a link I think we have to sleep guides, little tips, potty training tips that I'm happy to give you guys. Just message me on Facebook and I can send you potty training tips, feeding tips, tantrum tips. I have all these mini ebooks that I'm happy to send out.
Excellent. That's so great. They love tips like that. So make sure that you go overhead and follow Tammy, and you can post questions. She'll answer them for you. Let's get some hearts for Tammy for being such an amazing guest. We're so happy that you came back to join us after all this time. And we're going to be doing another show together in the near future. I think the next one we're going to do, I'll announce it right now. How about we just tell them? I think we're going to do a show on, Tammy's just a total expert on helping you with childcare, whether it's nannies, daycare, family members, whatever it is. And it's a really important topic to be able to, you're entrusting your child with someone else, and to have all these expert tips from Tammy will be just invaluable. So I think that's going to be our next show. We'll be doing that pretty soon, right? And
so many good tips for that. Tell the daycare provider this. Tell grandma to do that. It's hard. Daycare is hard, so any help there is good.
Awesome. Tammy, thank you so much for joining us.
You and your community are so terrific, and I look forward to doing this again. And they can message me I'll answer them all, send it all, but be calm and know that it will happen in time.
Careful, they like to ask a lot of questions. So she's not kidding. Go ahead and send it over. And thank you again to our amazing sponsor, Naturepedic. If you want to enter for the prize, like or love this post, and just comment here like you have already. And that's it. We will say goodnight for tonight, and I will see you all next week for another amazing show. We are going to be coming to you next Thursday. I have a really good show. I will be announcing the topic. It's a surprise. I will be announcing it soon. But I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Thanks again, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.